Dre, I think one of the things that, or one of the ways that you and I connected, um, was through our love of Southern hip hop. Like,
Mhm.
I think to be frank, when we first met and we met in a Christian hip hop space where the space was during that time, like a lot of the audience and even many of the artists had no clue about Southern hip hop from 1996 to
Mhm.
1999,
Yeah.
2000. So it was almost like to find somebody who knew, like, who could really nerd out on that type of hip hop and Cash Money No Limit, sure, but I mean Suave House, Rap a Lot,
Yeah.
like Screw Tapes,
Yeah.
Swisher House, all that stuff. It was like we was like the Spider-Man meme. We was just like, oh, I
Yeah.
found somebody that I could connect with. Um, I want before I get I would love to know what was your experience like having uh that influence of Southern hip hop just in your DNA, and you are making music for an audience that has no idea
Yeah.
what that is.
That was, well, I started to find others through, especially around the Hell's Paradise time. But prior to that, I found some just on different things that I would say, because I would always include like specifics, like down to like
Yeah.
things that only insiders would know. And I've
Mhm.
always been like either if you know, you know, type. Like I'm not, you know, going to explain because I was telling a real experience. I was talking like my life. I was really from the south side of Houston. Like that's all I
Right.
ever knew. So to be in
Yeah.
the space that I was in where my world became larger, it became larger where people became more aware of who I was. But
Yeah.
I hadn't been to these places yet. I still was like super underground and super like
Mhm.
entrenched in my community. That's literally all. I was going home. I was in Oklahoma for college, but I was literally driving home almost every weekend
Mhm.
going back. And
Mhm.
so I started to find certain people that knew, what I was talking about. But outside of that, it kind of was like whatever. You know what I mean? Like they'll catch
Mhm.
on whenever they catch on. Around the Hell's Paradise era, like 2009, when I really got away from trying to be in this box,
Mhm.
trying to play this. I don't even want to say play the game, but there was a certain framework that I had early on with Christian hip hop.
Mhm.
It has to be a sermon at the end. It has to be this. You got to have a redemptive story. Once
Mhm.
I kind of like God freed me from that during the Hell's Paradise era, I started telling more specifics of the story.
Yeah.
And I think it resonated with people that came from that experience too more.
Mhm.
Um, and so I started to find, especially, and then I started traveling more and getting outside to where you go certain places and they were getting the same CDs or tapes back in the day that you were getting.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like it made it there and it was a niche thing that they thought, they might have hid it from them friends, especially those on the East Coast. They might have hid it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like this is my
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Um, so that was cool to find that connection and have that connection with people
Yeah.
as things begin to grow. But early on, I was just like putting, Timmy Chan's like that's like a a wing spot by my house. Like only
Mhm.
certain people would know that. I
Yeah.
would put stuff in there like that, and certain people would gravitate towards. But if not, it's like a conversation started. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, what is Timmy Chan? So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. You're spot on, man. Because when you look at it from a macro level, there was that missing piece. But as you kind of just begin to have that, you begin to take the position of, I'm gonna do this because I love it,
Yeah.
and I want to tell my story the way that I want to tell it.
Hmm.
Um, the way that God walked me through it, I'm just gonna, gonna deliver it that way. And then you realize that, like, you're not so isolated, you're not so alone.
Yep.
And you find it in, like, the fans. It's like your fans become friends in a sense,
Yeah.
because, like they know they navigating the
Yep.
same awkward, uncertain, what do we do? How do we handle this?
Yep.
They're navigating that the same way that you were. And the fact that you kind of had that resolve, internally to tell your story the way that you did, and represent and reflect, your past, and the benchmarks, the earmarks of like the culture that you came from. It was like, yeah, me too. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's like
Yep.
Mr. Me Too in a good way.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 When you were introduced to Cash Money and No Limit,
Hmm.
um, what was the first encounter or the first thing that made you say like, yeah, this is different?
So I was, oddly enough, I was introduced to Master P first,
Yep.
because my one of my older brothers was really into, I mean, he both of my brothers were like just hip hop. Like I still got vinyl in the room from my oldest brother from like the
Mhm.
80s.
Wow.
So like they were entrenched in the culture, but my brother that I was closest to in age, he started like that's why I really, really started digging into like the regional stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
um once hip hop, because in the 80s, like it was just everybody was like a superhero to me. I was so young, they were like it was like comic book stuff. As I
absolutely.
got older though, the regional stuff I became more aware of. And so he was really big on like the Bay Area. And that's where Master P had went to the Bay Area. So
Yep.
the Click, E40, like
Yes.
I was on to them early on.
Yep.
And that's how I found Master P. And then he connected with Jay Prince and Scarface,
Mhm.
and so I heard, Ice Cream Man and all that pretty early.
Mhm.
Um I knew it was different, but it wasn't, I couldn't pinpoint that it was New Orleans.
Yeah.
I thought he was a West Coast cat
Super
at
Bay Area
first.
influence. What
Yeah.
if you listen to early P, people talk about him being influenced by Tupac.
Yes. Yep.
Early P sounds like Scarface,
Mm-hmm.
and early P sounds like Spice One.
Mm-hmm. Spike, yes. Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so my brain made those connections. I never associated him and it's crazy like the conversation to come up when you hear like him and Baby kind of throwing subliminals and talking
Yeah.
about like he's really not from New Orleans or he wasn't around during the time. You can like I never put that together like until later on when
Mhm.
I guess he had moved back and that's when Silk and C Murder and all them like I had never associated him with New Orleans. So I didn't really, there was no New Orleans rap outside of I think I had heard UNLV,
Right.
but I didn't know Cash Money, all this. I just
Uh,
knew you just knew the song. You know what I'm saying? It was like a TikTok. What TikTok is now is just like one of those things. You heard it. I don't know what they look like. I don't know the name. I just know Drag 'em in the River. I didn't know they was talking about Mystical. I didn't know none of this.
right.
And so my first time hearing him, I associated with the West Coast. I thought he was dope. Cash Money though, I was actually in Louisiana.
Oh,
Um,
shoot.
my little league coach kind of he became like my uncle, and so he's the reason why I came to Oklahoma. Like he would take me to camps and
Mhm.
his real nephew played at LSU, played football for LSU,
Okay.
and so there was another kid that they were recruiting that was around, and we all just went to Baton Rouge like one weekend, just got in the whip and just drove to
Mhm.
Baton Rouge, and we
Mhm.
went to the dorm like where his nephew was staying,
Yeah.
and they're passing around CDs. And one of his younger nephews, who was like my cousin, put me on and was like, he had one of the big timers. uh,
Mhm.
joints with, you know, Baby and Manny on the cover.
Yep.
I
How
think
you
there was
love
two different
how
volumes.
yeah, How You Love That, volume 1 and volume 2. Yep.
Yeah, and so and I remember there being a discrepancy, like they changed. Um, you know, the second one had some of the same songs on it,
Yep.
restructured. It was a big thing.
Yep.
But I forgot what song it was I heard, bro. And I was like, what in the world is this?
Yeah.
Like it was so different.
Yep.
And you know, they weren't even like MCs, but and at
No.
the time I was just all over the place regionally. So I was just in love with hip hop. So it wasn't really about, oh, here, MC, he's spitting bars. It was just like whatever was popping in this, you
Yep.
know, you speak your West Coast slang here, you speak your
Mhm.
East Coast slang here. When Snoop
Mhm.
them came out, I had the khakis with the
Yep.
chucks and
Yep.
the like I was every different region had its own thing. And so this
Yep.
was just another add New Orleans to the
Yeah.
joint or Louisiana. I didn't even know New Orleans at first. I just knew it was Louisiana.
Yeah.
And from there, that's when it like I got back home and just like fell down the rabbit hole from
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, but I knew it was something different. I hadn't heard before. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Absolutely. Like, I remember my introduction was similar, but, like, I saw the Ha video first,
Mm,
and I actually saw that, I think yesterday or a couple days ago was the
yeah,
25th anniversary or something like
yeah,
that of that video
yeah.
premiering, and people don't understand, there was nothing that sounded like that.
Mm-mm.
Not that the beat
No.
alone, it's the beat. It's a beautiful video of
Yep.
just, like, New Orleans, and it's raw, and even just the way Juvenile's riding on the track, like, it's not even he's off beat, but he's on beat.
Yes. Yes.
And so I became, like, captivated with, like, who are these? They had the high, the Boosie phase. Like, why
Yeah.
y'all still got high top fades in 1998? What are y'all doing? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was little stuff like that, and then, yeah, like you, I heard It's All on You volume 1. Which one is on? But I heard Big Ballin'.
That's one. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the yeah.
big
That's what I heard
yeah,
first.
Big
That's what I
Ballin'
heard
is my
first.
hobby. I
And that
was
was
like,
not is that on It's All on You?
it's on
'Cause
both
that's
of them. Yep.
BG's.
No,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, the
I don't
Big Timers was dang, I forgot the name of the project, but that's the song I heard.
yeah,
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa, whoa, Chemo Stop. Yeah,
Ooh.
that's
'Cause
yeah.
it's the bounce, 'cause it's very New Orleans. Like,
Yes.
it's got that second line energy in it,
Mm-hmm.
but it was, like, also sinister. But
Yes.
then you got, like, Manny Fresh, like, playfully rap.
Comedian. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
he's very funny, very silly, and then Baby at the time, like, he wasn't Birdman until, like, 2000 or whatever,
Yeah.
2001, whenever that was. Before, he was Baby.
Yeah.
Like, back then, he was just very, I think he was trying to figure it out at that time, but it was like, "Huh?" And then you would go back and dig, then you got 400 Degrees. And 400 Degrees was like, yeah, it was high, but then it was like,
Mm-hmm.
niggas in trouble, 400 Degrees, follow me now. The
Yeah.
the high remix, you hear about the Hot Boys, then you just go in a rabbit hole, and then you
Yeah.
hear Soldier Rat, like you go all over the place, and it was like this culture that
Yeah.
felt like New Orleans, and it felt new and different and exciting. It was kinda East Coast, but then it was kinda West Coast, but then it was its
Mm-hmm.
own thing.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
Yeah. And it was they started so Bun B and like he showed up on a lot of early Cash Money.
Mhm,
And so because they used um Selecto Hits
mm,
distribution company.
mhm.
So a lot of the cash I used to look up their number like and try to try to get a deal with Selecto Hits back then. I didn't have no real songs, but they were in Southwest wholesale, but Selecto Hits came first, I think. That's who they had their deal with. And so a lot of
Mm,
super underground that wasn't going hand to hand, that was trying to get into the stores and
Mhm.
get past the like the consignment level. They
Mhm.
use Selecto Hits or Southwest wholesale. And so because of that, a lot of the Texas artists and Cash Money like came together. And then they started messing with
Mm.
Jay Prince too. Like Jay
Yeah,
Prince was
yeah.
uniting a lot of people. So a lot of that stuff, man, made it to like we had a place called Sound Waves in Houston. And that's where you
Heard
go.
of
You put the headphones on and you could check out what
Yes.
before you buy it, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
So a lot of that stuff came early to us and it just impacted, I think it impacted us differently because so many of our artists that the world or the country didn't know yet
Mhm.
were messing with them like early,
Mm.
early on.
Okay.
Um, and so like the BGs, like before
Yes.
it was just BG, True Story,
Yep.
BGs. I remember, that was one of those projects we heard about and you didn't believe it because you didn't believe Wayne was so as young as they said he was,
Right.
but it was a real thing. So when you found it, it was like, dang, because it was even the original had BGs on it,
Yes, it
and then
did.
they changed it to just BG,
That's
True
right.
Story, when Wayne got in trouble.
Yep.
And so to find the one that says BGs was like, oh, I got the
Yes,
Holy
sir.
Grail. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes,
but
sir.
yeah, so a lot of that stuff was like lore, like folklore almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Finding
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's what I love about regionalism, man, is like it's certain things you had to be there to get it.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
we're in this, in this internet age where like everything is accessible all the time. It devalues
Yep.
so much because everybody just now has the expectation that everything will just be made available to them and I'll access it later. And that even
Right.
goes to the point that we were talking offline. We were having a conversation about like our relationship with time. Just as we get older, like it's just very dismissive and
Yep.
disrespectful to the art. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget. My sister had a friend that she went to high school with. He was from New Orleans, and he went down there to go visit family or something, and he came back up with this random tape. I don't know who the people was, but the sell was, yeah, they about to sign a no limit. And that alone, we was like, cool, let's listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
just the idea of I gotta go down here and get something that I cannot get anywhere else because to your point,
Exactly.
distribution for many, many times it was regional at best.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, when you're local, if I could get my CD or my mixtape in my city store, I
Yeah.
made
You
it.
made it. You made it, bro. You made it. That's all I growing up, that's all I ever wanted. Like we would go to stores and try to get consignment and it wasn't for the lack of like hustle hand to hand, but there's only so much hand to hand you can do before something bad happens or you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like and I wasn't like really I'm like I'm you know my I don't want to number one I don't want to get people around me like in trouble to where you know something bad happens because the environment you grew up in, like you're always ready for something to
Of
happen. You
course.
know what I'm
Of
saying?
course.
So it's not
Absolutely.
like we were scared of that, but I was always of the thought of like I'm an artist. Like I'm not
Right.
trying to that's why like even with the Cash Money stuff, like I love the storytelling and the imagery and the more when they got into their uh, internal conversations, like especially like a BG who was dealing with
BG.
addiction and all that, like
Yeah.
that's our Wayne when he's talking about the loss of his what he called his dad and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Like that's
Yep.
the stuff, and then the money making, like them trying to go out and hustle, like as a young kid with
Yes.
aspirations. That's what I gravitated towards. When they
Yes.
talking about head busting and all that, I mean, that's cool, bro. But look, like I'm not really down with the head busting. You know what I'm saying? Like I know you got choppers and you slinging it on. Like I know all the
Right.
terminology,
Yep.
but
Yep.
like, how do I get the Bentley with the
Yep.
buttons? You know what I'm saying? Like, or you
How do
know,
I get the PT Cruiser with the
yes. How do
iridescent
I get
paint?
the the stretch PT Cruiser?
The
Like, tell me
stretch
how to.
PT Cruiser. What?
Yeah, like.
I was just telling my wife about that. Like, yeah, I wanted a PT Cruiser. So 6'5" and a PT Cruiser is crazy.
Get crazy, bro. I tried to. My dad had one. Uh, I told you off air, like when he passed away. Um, I was his only son or his
Mm,
only child, period. And
mm,
so he had this old PT Cruiser that didn't work. And it was like the irony of that whole thing. Like I'm a man now with wife and kids. He gets it in his life, and there's a PT Cruiser that doesn't work in the driveway. So like my whole life, I didn't see this man my whole life growing up. I get to the end of it, and it's like, yeah, you think you're funny, right? Even in death, you trying to crack on me. It's like the PT
yeah.
Cruiser wouldn't even work, bro. Like the car that
Yeah.
I wanted my whole life, burgundy too, like one of the
Ooh, the
yeah,
burgundy
dog,
joint. Yeah,
yeah,
that was the one. That was the color to get for sure.
yeah,
For
yeah.
sure, for sure. What was it about? Because you talked about, your experience as a young artist and chasing consignment. Like, what was it about either one of their business models um, that like influenced you on your own journey as an independent artist?
I think the just the sheer hustle of it all, like,
Mm,
and they spoke about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I already was aware of the like the hand to hand, like I mentioned, and then because I'm from Houston, so like DJ Screw selling out of his house, literally selling mixtapes out of his house. Like I witnessed
yeah,
that,
yeah,
passing around great tape. So I knew about this type of hustle. It was always a thing in the hood to like you sell 10,000 units out of your trunk times 10, that's 100 grand. Like that was the
mhm,
simple mathematics that
absolutely,
everybody in the hood held on to, like to hit six
absolutely.
figures. Or,
Yep,
we weren't thinking about expenses or none of that. It's just like
10 grand.
10 times 10 is 100. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
yep.
And so, but with them, it was the next level. Like it was like I read those music business books, but it seemed like way too out of reach.
Yeah.
This was within reach.
Yes.
I could call Selecto Hits. I could call Southwest. I
Hmm.
could walk into Sam Goody and say, "Hey, I have 100 CDs. This is, they showed a basic level blueprint of how to
Yeah.
get it,
Yep.
and they weren't even signed to Universal yet. This is before Universal.
Yep.
They were getting Master P signed with Priority, so he had this. So he was that still was even kind of like out of reach. But
Hmm.
Cash Money stayed independent long enough to where it was like, man, and they were like teaching the game to where it's like they are literally millionaires already regionally. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like they
Yep.
hadn't touched. This is before Jay-Z hopped on High and all this and the
Right.
Universal deal. This is like
Yep.
I heard them in Baton Rouge in a dorm,
Yep.
and they are, doing they have their own ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Hmm.
kind of like I wanted to figure out how to do that. And then
Yeah.
they had one producer. You know what I'm
One
saying?
producer.
It was like, you know, uh, me and my cousin, like we started making our own beats because it's
Yeah.
like, why would I go out and that wasn't even a thought to go out and pay for beats. It was like we could do all of this internally. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
My cousin knew how to draw. It's like, yeah, you could do the pen and pixel thing like yourself.
Absolutely.
It's like,
Yes, sir.
it's like we have the whole system here to where we don't need any type. I don't have to get a major deal. Like that was frowned upon at one point.
Absolutely.
You know
Yes,
what
it
I'm saying?
was.
Like getting a major deal. That was like, what are you doing, bro?
Absolutely.
But everything changed when you saw that 32 million from Universal. I never
Absolutely.
forget the day I saw that. And it
Absolutely.
was like I didn't understand the deal structure, the
Yeah.
points.
Yep.
but I knew that that was a big deal because if they're already here and now you're getting signed by a major like that,
Mhm.
and then it wasn't like they stopped working.
Right.
It was just like it
Right.
was like I said, we were talking about the inserts. It was
Yep.
like they would drop something and then in the inserts you see what's coming next. So
Absolutely.
it's like a movie trailer you see. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
like, dang, like they so I had that mentality all the time, even though I didn't
Absolutely.
have artists up under me. When I did though, when I brought my cousins in, even the ones that couldn't rap, it was like, okay, I drop a project here, you drop a project, you
Yep.
next, then we do a
Yep.
group album.
Yep. Absolutely. Yes.
We the
That was the
untouchables.
that was the plan.
That was the
Absolutely.
plan. You know what I'm saying? That was the plan. And it was our
Absolutely.
version of like a Wu-Tang.
Yep.
But the only difference is Wu-Tang was on loud and then they,
Yep.
Method Man was over here and
Mhm.
SZA was over here, but
Mhm.
we independent. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
that
Yep.
always stuck with me.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was always the play to do the solo albums and then come together, which is why you
Yep.
saw, you know, Tank Dogs
Yep.
and, there
504
was a
boy.
504 Bo when 504 Boys was just the original 504 Boys was who? It was M C
Fiend,
Fame,
C
Mystical,
Murder.
right?
I think,
I know
I think,
C Murder, you was right. I think
um, Silk for sure.
Silk, yep.
Currency was around.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
but
if
I'm
he
talking about
was,
before I'm talking about
you talking about
before, like
before him?
yeah, so,
There
like,
was
I
one
remember
cat that I forgot his name. There was one cat that really wasn't. See, this is the thing with that. But by the time the 504 thing happened, I was cash money out.
yeah, it
Like
was over.
it was over. I had a soldier rag on
Yep.
already, and it had Reebok Soldier Reeds on my feet, and so I wasn't really checking
2 for
for
$89.
no limit no
Yeah,
more.
the ice you either get the ice it has so they had the strap. So you get the regular, uh, white Reeboks or whatever, but you would get the soldiers that either they had the strap on them,
Yeah,
and either the bottom it was either a gum bottom or a clear
gummy. Yep,
sole,
yep, yep, yep.
or
And
you
I
get
had
the
the two the two Geneva watches
yep,
with the Cuban
yep,
zirconia joints on them.
absolutely.
I was like, why do you have two watches on, bro?
But
That
that's what you
cost
did.
$15 a piece.
Absolutely. Get them at the mall, 5 for
Yep.
20, Foot Locker, tees.
Yep.
You wear them once, the neck be this wide, be done. Ab
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah, just even
Hilarious.
that 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 culture, it was almost like I remember talking to Sean C. Johnson. I remember
Johnson?
talking to him, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember talking to him years ago, and he talked about, like, that Halloween theory where he's like, "Yo, as a brand, if someone was to dress like you for Halloween, what would they wear?"
Yeah.
Be mindful of that, and
Wow.
so that was one of the reasons
Wow.
that he had the beard, because that was
Wow.
part of his brand and his presentation, so when you think about Ca Cash Money, there was a uniform,
Wow.
all white tee,
Mm-hmm.
dark denim jeans,
Yep.
soldier rag, you
Yep.
said the Geneva watches, had the
Yep.
if you were over the age of 18, you got a tattoo here that you could,
Yep.
like, when you held this up, some sort of
Yep.
tattoo or something, and the icy whites. It's a
Yep.
thing. Or if you was no limit, you just wore camouflage. But there it's
I'm off
fun
no limit, bro. Like
but it's funny, and I wanted to talk about that because their fall was fast.
yes. Very fast, man. It was my bad.
No, you're good.
It was it was like they didn't adapt fast enough. They didn't adapt.
And
They had some internal issues, obviously,
of course.
that hurt them, but they didn't adapt fast enough, and they tried to. hmm, Cash Money was efficient. They started falling apart when I think the internal struggles is really what hurt them because then they had to go outside of themselves, and that's when you get
Mhm.
Jazzy Faye and all of this weird stuff
You talking about
start
cash?
to
You talking about
happen. But
Cash Money?
yeah, I'm talking about Cash Money. Like
Yeah,
they're
it was the Double XL magazine when Juvenile left. It was an
yes,
orange cover.
yes,
That was it. That was
yes.
it.
So
Yep.
the internal struggles, but before that though, they were so efficient, bro. Like
Yep.
the difference was Master P, he would go sign 100 artists,
Yep.
and that was his model to instead of having 4 or 5, he would get 100 and have them do 100 records, right?
Yep. Yep.
That's
He
why you
dropped.
get that list where some of them don't come out.
Yep.
Cash Money's like, no, we got 4
You got four.
main solo artists,
Yep.
a group,
Yep.
and then we got another group. That's it. That's all we
That's
Fresh make
and
the
the group is
beats.
the CEO and the producer.
Yes. It's
Yep.
like it so they ran efficiently where it was like I remember thinking that a lot of the songs were I thought that their process was they go into the studio, okay, this is for 400 degrees. We're gonna make all of these songs for 400 degrees.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
remember hearing this interview where they were like, no, we just recorded
It just recorded.
and then we picked what project
Yep.
this was gonna go on. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? They might have the solo records that they do, but it was just because they was in the studio that day.
Yep.
But it was like a job. It was a straight up
Yep.
job for them. Like we work in a 9 to 5,
Yep.
recording music, and then we make a decision, you know.
Yep.
So I think No Limits, that's where No Limit messed up. It's like we talking about Currency. Like I had forgotten Currency was on No Limit. It's like
Right.
he didn't drop a project. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Not that I'm aware of. It's just like,
Nah, I don't think so.
or the cast that were they about to sign to No Limit? It's like he was
Right.
just getting everybody. I could have
It's
been on No Limit. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
I mean, you think about those like third tier artists, full blooded, little soldiers.
Yeah.
It's like what? Huh? It
Yeah.
was in '98, it was cool that they were dropping every Tuesday, but
Hmm.
it got tired real fast.
Yep.
And to your point, it was like there was a clear separation between those like A tier and even some strong B tier artists. Like obviously they're A
Hmm.
tier artists, a P Silk C Murder, then you got Mystical Fiend, Mia X. But then you have the second tier of artists like a Mac, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Who's
Yeah.
like, nobody's really expecting much from him. And then out of nowhere, he drops one of the best albums from the camp,
Right. Right.
and they're not able to follow up on that by the time World War
Right.
III comes out. It's 99. And again, they've fallen off, beats by
Yeah.
the pound gone.
Hmm.
It's different. And P tried to replace them with Moby Dick leaves, so we gonna sign Odell.
Right.
And it's
Right.
like, it's not the same. It's
It's
over.
not the same, bro.
It changed.
It's not
Sound
the same.
changed.
Yep. Yep.
The sound
And
changed.
and and they doubled down on it was the bad thing. It's like, and I feel like he could have, like with Baby, like I feel like tried to he always like tried to make things right. That's why you see the artists coming back all the time, and then they'll leave
Yeah.
again, and then they'll come back. It's like he
Yeah.
understood what was missing. You know what I'm saying? He understood the recipe rather.
Yeah.
So it was like
Yeah.
once he found something, he like locked in on it and stuck with it. And that's why I
Mhm.
feel like I was thinking this earlier, man. Like he never, like you said, he was trying to figure it out early on with the rapping thing. He never was ever a rapper. He dropped, I think his solo project was the first project on Cash Money where he was Beat 32. I still haven't been able to find it after all of these years. But it was called Beat
Really?
32 because he had
Really?
32 goals. That was the first like Cash Money drop when he started the label.
Really?
He was just a hustler that was
Yeah,
really trying to turn his life around and get out of the game.
absolutely.
And one of the things that I started to realize, and even now, like listening to some of these stories from like his brother, that BG was named after his brother Terrence,
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
was locked up or whatever.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
hearing some of those stories, like they were trapped in this environment, man, where um, like I was listening to all Volume 2 of It's All on You,
It's all on you. Yep.
and there's a song called I'm Trying, BG and Lil Wayne. And
Mm,
it's like I'm trying to shake the monkey. Juvenile's doing the hook, but it's like I'm trying to shake the monkey off of me because BG was on heroin.
yep.
It's like their environment, like in that song, but in both of them, Lil Wayne and BG expressed that they wanted to get out of what they were doing, right?
Mm,
But their environment just would not, it didn't call for it. Like Lil Wayne was saying, it just won't, like it won't shake. Like nothing is shaking out. Like I'm trying, but it just won't
wow.
shake out.
Yep.
And it's because their environment wouldn't allow them to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think with Baby, like he really wanted to get out of the game. And so he wasn't focused on being a rapper. He was just hustling. So whatever worked, it's like
Yeah.
we got good product. If this is what the people want, this is what I'm gonna give to them.
Yeah.
It don't matter how I do it.
Wow.
Like I really like s- there's really death around me. You know what I'm saying? Like he was really trying to escape that. That's why I
Yep.
feel like he, with all these rumors now about what he's doing now, like I don't, but it's kind of like the Jay Prince thing. Like I hear a lot of stories about him and like I'm from Houston, but
Mm-hmm.
they've come so far within from where they were.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't believe a lot of this stuff now at
Mm,
this day and
yeah.
age because of everything they've escaped. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he was just a hustler trying to get out of get out of his environment. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that somebody like Wayne was more introspective then as a kid
Mm,
than he is now. A record like F the World on his
yeah.
first album, you're not gonna get
Yeah.
that in 2025. Like he was
Mm-mm.
really self-aware of his
Yeah.
environment. Like you said, like the things that he was exposed to, he would really talk about it
Yep.
in his music. And it was relatable in a way. Like it was partially like some movie stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
wow, he shot himself. That's unbelievable. So you're
Yeah.
interested in that way, but the way that they would talk about it in the presentation was very personal.
Yeah.
It's like your partner telling you their story versus
Yep.
like, a superhero rap star. And I think that was a big appeal because if you go back to that uniform point, you know, the other part about Master P, because we really ain't gave No Limit that many flowers. We've been really stuck on Cash Money, but it's all good.
I'm sorry, man. I'm
Um,
not a I'm
yeah, no, it's all good. We gonna get there. It's all good.
I'm sorry.
The other uniform for No Limit was the derby with like the green and gold vest with no undershirt. Like that was like very country and in a way out of reach. Like, nigga, I'm not wearing that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the Cash Money uniform, oh, I could go, my sister got a camouflage rag she got from the hair
Yep.
store.
Yep.
I can get white tees from Foot Locker. I can go here and get some jeans. Like it was just it was attainable.
Yep. Yep. That
Yeah.
was that was the difference, man. Like they were right there. It always seemed like they were right there. And I think it
Mhm,
partly was because of the influence. Like I said, I was first introduced to Master P,
mhm,
via West Coast music.
mhm,
And so I
mhm,
didn't associate him with, I had been to New Orleans, I've been to Louisiana. When you're down there, you can feel that culture, bro. Like it's super thick to where you understand. I never forget, I went to this camp. It was in Houston. It was at HBU, I think. Uh, it was a basketball camp, me and my
okay.
partner, and which he was, cash moneyed out too.
Of course.
And it was these kids, it was all sports. So it wasn't just basketball, it was football too. And it was, they bust in a ton of kids from the
Mhm,
Desire projects
mhm.
in New Orleans over in the same areas, like an uptown area, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Yep.
Man, bro, when I tell you, like, I've seen some things growing up, dog.
I
I've been a
I
part of
bet.
some things.
Yep.
I've like death, everything, like you name it.
Yep.
But there was something about these kids, man, where it was like me and my partner was like, bro, like it was a and it wasn't their fault. You could tell that it was just like it was almost like a lawlessness,
Yeah.
like something else was going on there. It was like
Yeah.
what the they got the YN thing, is a thing now. Like these were they was still kind of respectful in a way, but it was almost like they were raised to be like little like gangster, like a BG. Like they were
Yeah.
like really about what they said they were
Yep.
about. No
They
matter where we are, it's
Yep.
going down right
We'll
here
do it.
type stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yep.
where I'm from, like we would ride by the cemetery and cut the music down. Like we still
Mhm.
had, and you see, like dudes that have bodies that
Mhm.
respect their grandma, or respect your grandma, or respect,
Mhm.
they not gonna do nothing to you if your mom's outside and stuff. But
Right.
like just like this felt different, bro.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
never forget that. Like, and the
Yeah.
accent was so thick where it was
Yep.
like, oh, what is going on? So then when I
Yeah.
got introduced to the music, it made sense. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it was always a difference in No Limit and Cash Money in that way. Like, I don't, because it's, real individuals on that side too. So I don't want to say that it wasn't like, Master P, you hear stories about Master P as well. Like, real
Mhm.
is real no matter
Absolutely.
where you're from. But as far as like from a
Absolutely.
branding standpoint, it felt like not cosplay, but it felt like you said, the stuff that they were putting on, I couldn't relate to. It was like a
I can
movie.
relate to.
Like
It was like a
even
movie.
down to
The
even
the
down
last
to the last dance. I was about to say that the cover, like it was like
Yeah.
this mafia type
Yep.
whatever,
Mhm.
Cash Money, they would like just pull up on the side of you in a white tee and gold and just
Yep.
what's happening. You know what I'm
Yeah, what's
saying?
that?
It's like
Yep.
that was the difference. You know what I'm
It was a
saying?
difference.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think that's what made me gravitate more towards Cash Money
Sure.
was that
Sure.
level of closeness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, were there specific artists or albums from either one of those labels that, like, either spoke to you personally or helped shape your sound as an artist?
Yeah. So I mentioned Volume 2 already from BG, like
Mhm.
that level of just this internal battle, like
Mhm.
and wanting to get out of your environment. Like that
Mhm.
really as a young kid, that like really made me start to write a certain way. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And
Mhm.
then Lil Wayne, that version of Lil Wayne,
Absolutely.
um, he didn't, you said the World song, but that was really the only song that he cussed in. His mom wouldn't let him like
That's
cuss.
right. That's
And
right.
so that spoke to me because I didn't want my mom to know that I cuss. Like it was, you know what I'm saying? It was like so that gave me an out. It was like I had
Yeah,
a framework to work to go off of.
that's
And
right.
the way that he wrote was at the time, the way he used his voice, he was just comical in a way. It was like you could
Mhm.
tell he was a kid still.
Yeah.
I gravitated more towards Wayne for like the writing aspect and like the
Mhm.
introspectiveness.
Mhm.
Juvie though like told stories. So my storytelling, I love
Um,
stories.
yeah.
Scarface always points to Juvenile as being one, and Scarface is a storyteller, and he always
Absolutely.
points to Juvenile as one of the greatest because he can literally write a movie like with his, you were there, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like in all of his songs, follow me now, what like it's
Yeah.
you know exactly where you are in the story,
Absolutely.
and I think it helped too with the skits on that 400 Degrees project where it was like
What is
you are
on?
there. Yeah, what is on? Back the lineup. I be coaching kids in basketball. I tell them that all the time. Back the lineup. What is on? Back the lineup.
Me and my wife
Um,
Me and my wife all the time will say, it ain't got to be all that, bro.
You ain't got
It
to
ain't
be
got to
on
be
it,
all
bro.
that, bro.
But so the visual aspect from Juvenile was something I took that really
I can see that.
made me want to tell stories in that way and like show my environment, whereas
I can see
Wayne
that.
was more like an introspective type thing.
Yeah.
I listened to BG when I just wanted to get rowdy and get mad. Like,
Yeah, for sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah, I think for me, everybody loves 400 Degrees, and that was my introduction. Um, but honestly, Chopper City in the Ghetto is what, like,
mm,
that's that's a definitive album for my life.
yeah,
Because I never liked Follow Me Now. To go from
really,
Ha to Follow Me Now, like it was a little kind of goofy. I didn't like it. But shortly thereafter, here comes Cash Money as an Army.
yeah,
And then I buy that album because of course I did. And you hear Thuggin, Playing It Raw, Made
hmm
Man, Niggas in Trouble,
hmm
like the song about his mom at the end of the album. I'm just like, oh, like BG was I think a takeaway for me was like BG was very personal and shared things about his life.
yeah,
And I think
yeah,
that's the avenue that I take as an MC. Like I'm very introspective and I'm gonna just tell you flat out like this is where I'm at. And
yeah,
it was raw. And I think BG uh, did that for me for sure. I mean, even on the No Limit side again, like Mac, um, I was a big fan. Honestly, I was a big fan of Mia. I
really,
loved Mia X because what she would do, she did it on I'm About It, and I've never heard anybody replicate it to this day. She'll rap a verse and then she'll like harmonize a completely different, like a hook or something underneath her verse. And
yes,
it's
yep,
fire.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
She has a
She's ill.
great voice.
She's ill.
Um, so you know what I'm saying? Like production is always touch and go. You know what I mean? Like, but I think it was I think it was Chopper City in the Ghetto because here's the other thing, and I'll say this before we move on. I didn't realize how biased the source was. So like
Mm,
there was never a Southern album that would get over four mics. If
yeah,
an album from the South got four mics, it
yeah,
was like, whoa.
yeah, yeah.
Guerrilla Warfare got 4.5.
It was hard, bro.
That's what I was saying. I was like, whoa, I bought it and I was like, this album is incredible.
It was hard, bro. It
Oh
was
my
hard, bro.
God.
Bro,
Boys at War.
first day of school, senior year, my partner, Alton, he wound up going to the league, and he had this candy red Ford Explorer that everybody
Mm,
thought Clyde Drexler bought him because he wound up going to the wound up going to U of H for one year,
Revenge.
and Drexler
Okay.
was coaching there,
Okay.
and so that was the story. We used to
Okay.
all pile in that Explorer. First
Yeah.
day of school, he picks me up, and I just hand him the CD.
Yeah.
Like from the front, I bought it and just handed him the CD. We popped that in
Yep.
every morning. We played that crap every single morning.
It's a
Um,
classic.
the Help song, like the way he used his voice in that song, freed me to like yell on a
Yeah.
record. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Um, it was like he wasn't singing, but and they did Juvenile did some of that anyway
Yeah.
with like the home, but that was a
Yep.
different type of hell. Like it was like
Yeah.
they really you got that from No Limit with the especially like a mystical or something like that.
Yep.
But
Hmm.
I never heard BG get like animated like that
No.
to where it was like so that was different. It was like they were going for it
Yep.
on that record. You know what I mean? They were
Yep.
actually going for it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, that record was crazy.
Yeah. Guerrilla Warfare is that the best Cash Money album?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
If we're just talking music, I'm not talking like, because I think if you go like legacy or definitive or influential, you probably got to go 400 Degrees, right? But if we're just talking songs,
I don't think so. I think 400
Mm,
Degrees has it, and I'll say, and the reason why
okay.
I say that, towards the end of Guerrilla Warfare, there's some skips.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a few skips. I can't even remember the names of the songs. They like are so skippable. And then there's some mid, like Tuesdays and Thursdays was cool, but it was
Yeah,
kind of, yeah, you know what
it's
I'm
turk.
saying? Yeah,
It's turk.
yeah,
Yeah, it's turk. Yeah.
yeah. Chill out.
Tur-
But 400 Degrees was like, to me, there's no skips. If there is a skip, it might be the high remix or something, but it's like there's no,
See,
for
I
me,
love.
no real skips on that project.
Here's the other thing: the high remix, the first one with the Hot Boys, is
Mm,
crazy
yeah,
with
yeah,
the different beat. Like,
yeah,
um, what I love that Manny Fresh did, and we'll move on. What I love that what Manny Fresh used to do, there would always be a beat breakdown at the end, and he would just go crazy on the MPC.
yes,
And it was
yes.
just like he would change the drums up, he would add hi-hats, um,
He would go
like,
DJ Manny mode.
he was in and I wanna hear your thoughts on how you think the verses is gonna go, because
Yeah.
I think that he is the difference maker. So how do you see Saturday going?
I hope number one, I hope that it's violence free. Um, because what I've realized started to realize as I've gotten older and people started to talk, there was real issues that don't necessarily just go away because you get a lot of money and years
That's
have
right.
gone by.
Yes, sir.
Um, and if they are fighting internally with each other, you can only imagine when real blood was shed,
Right.
um, what extent they would go to,
Yep.
so that's my number one is I hope that no violence happens. Number two, I think that No Limit's gonna get washed. Like they're gonna get mopped up. Um, and it's mainly because of some of the things that we've already said. Like number one, there's a lot of people, a lot of the key people that were involved in No Limit that don't really mess with Master P anymore.
That's right.
That's not to say that he can't play those songs, but
Sure.
they're not gonna make it a moment like
Right.
Manny Fresh and Baby on stage doing big timer stuff. They've reconciled.
Yep.
They just came off of a tour.
They
They
just did a
they're
tour.
they're sharp. If they're gonna be performing, they already are, in unison with each other, you know,
That's true.
even with all the internal stuff that have gone on. They still were like legitimately having rehearsals and stuff.
Yep.
Juvenile and Manny Fresh, they did Tiny Desk. They're doing, stuff with live bands. Like,
They did a full
so
tour. They're
imagine if they
about to put
come
out an
out,
album together in November, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So imagine if they come out with, you know, the second line instruments and the
Yep.
horns and the,
Yep.
so I just think it's gonna be a wash, man. Like it's nothing there's nothing Master P can do, man, that can really overpower. There's just too much catalog. There's just
Yeah.
too much catalog,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I think it's gonna I think on paper it's closer than people think. Like No Limit can
Really?
very easily get to 20. Oh yeah.
But I
No
think,
Limit.
see, but this is the thing. It didn't say Cash Money from the 90s. It
Yeah,
said Cash Money.
I
Cash
hope they
Money's still going.
see, and I hope they don't even sniff Young Money. I don't
Well,
want to
not
see I don't want to see none of that.
true, true. And that's what I think other people hope that as well. But again, we dealing with Baby. Like I said,
Sure.
he's not a respecter of, this thing called hip hop. Like he's a hustler.
Yeah.
And so
Yep.
if if he could get Drake there, he would get Drake there.
For sure.
if Drake would come, if Nicki would come, he would put them on that stage. He would make a little slot for them, and
for
he
sure.
would be very well within his right to do it because they were
Hmm.
Cash Money artists. Like it's like,
They could do it.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Get Mac 10 out there. Get now that's the era,
You
bro.
better not do nothing from Bang a Ball.
That's the era, bro. That was the era where it was like, I guess I get
It's
a
all here.
suspend.
I mean, but here, yeah, you did it because that Checkmate album was not good.
No.
Um, but it was big timers. They
Yeah.
carried the label. That's I got that work.
Yeah.
Um, and there's another one. There's two of them.
Um, heavyweight.
Nah, not Big Money Heavyweights. No, 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 no. That was it. They had two
Oh,
albums. Hold on.
the ugly cover, the beige cover.
Oh no. Oh yeah. See, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I got that work as 2000. So that's Get Your Roll On, number
Yeah,
one
yeah,
stunner,
yeah.
right? 10 Ways, right? I'm tripping because then Hood Rich is 2002.
Hood Rich, that's the other one.
Yeah, that's Still Fly.
Yeah.
And that's
The big money heavyweights was when they fell off.
yeah, because that's This Is How We Do It. That's Gangsta Girl with R. Kelly.
I don't even remember that, bro. By that
Okay.
time I was,
It
yeah,
was
by that time I was in CHH.
oh, okay. Yeah,
I,
yeah, I was that's
I
old.
laid that down.
That's '03. So I'm throwing up the rock.
Oh, 03 was my first CHH project.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was
Word.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's I think I think on paper they can get to 20 because No Limit has a lot of like um like hood classics that they could play. So it ain't like I think Cash Money has a much easier path to get to their 20 records, which
Yeah.
which is good and which will serve them.
Yeah.
I think because No Limit's catalog is so vast, it's like, oh, do we play this random song from Silk the Shocker's third album that like people know and rock with, but it might not hit in
They're
Vegas?
not doing that. They not doing
And I think again, like you got Manny Fresh basically serving this.
that. Wanna go see my car?
That I
What
mean,
you talking about?
to the other point, Mystical's in jail. C Murder's in jail. Uh, like so many people you haven't seen. I ain't seen Mr. Serv-On in forever. There's like so
Me,
many random people that were
Mia
part of
X
that
not
roster.
messing with him.
And let's say, so half of the folks they messing with him, the other half, to your point, they not in performance shape. The only people I know that's like stage ready from that side, besides P, is Mac and Fiend.
Yeah, Fiend. I was gonna say Fiend.
Yeah,
Fiend
Mac
might
and
be the saving grace.
Fiend will be the
You know what I'm
saving
saying?
grace. He'll be able to pick up some of that energy that not having Mystical there will do. But BG's out of jail. BG been on a run, like
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, putting out music like
in
constantly.
shape.
He's in shape. We talked about that on Clock Radio Speakers with Nas. Like Nas is in shape
Right.
because he's just been rapping. So he
Yeah.
doesn't sound washed in a way that some of his peers do because they're not getting in the studio and just getting shots up.
Yeah. Just reps. Yep.
Yep.
Just
Just
reps.
reps. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think I'll say the last thing I think what's gonna mess I think P is gonna be the reason why No Limit loses. I think P gonna get in his own way.
P without the goals in his mouth is different, man. He's Percy, bro. It's
He's
like it's
Percy.
not the same. It's not the same. Like that's one thing that is very unfortunate from a a cultural, like just
Yeah,
societal level that
yeah,
Baby is the way that Baby is at his age, but it's
yeah,
also the reason why Cash Money has lasted as long as it has
yeah.
because you got somebody like NBA Youngboy that will
Mhm.
listen to Baby
Right.
but cuss Master P out because Master P is viewed as the Bill
Right.
Cosby. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
You know, and it's like I said, it's unfortunate. Like Master P is really trying to make strides and change. Like I remember he even went on a stretch where he was like butting up against CHH at one point. He might even had a Christian rap label, if I remember right. And then
Oh, P?
yeah, yeah, there was
Really?
a point. So he went from not cussing in the music, so he
Yep.
started only distributing the music to Walmart because they had the clean versions. And then
I've
from there, he went from there to butting right up against Christian rap. I even
really
think I forgot what year that was, but I contemplated like reaching out, but I was like, I don't know what that even looked like, bro. Like,
right. And you was
so it was like,
you wouldn't got a dime.
nah, nah. So the identity has just changed so much, and now he's really trying to make a change, and motivational talks and
Yeah.
suits and
Yeah.
businessman where,
Selling cereal with Snoop. Snoop, you think
yeah,
Snoop would be there?
if it's a check involved, Snoop
Yeah,
gonna be
so
there for
I
sure.
think so.
If just a
Yeah,
check involved, yeah.
yeah. He's Snoop
And
be
even
there.
that, man, like I don't think that's gonna make a dent, man. Like
He'll do down for my niggas. Like that'll be the moment for Snoop. But he's not. What is he gonna do? Wolf?
the symphony.
Hey, they could do the symphony. That's my joint. Chill out.
They can do the symphony, mystical out there.
Right. That's the best part of the song.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the
Right.
best part of
Right.
the song. Like
Yep.
so,
Yep.
there is no way, man. It's unfortunate for No Limit that things went the way they did internally because people wanted this for so long. But
Mm,
I think that it looks good on paper and it's like, oh, the nostalgia is hit. But once
yeah.
they hit that stage, it's gonna be like, wait a minute. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think P's in shape. Last
Nah.
time P did a show,
He's actually is a clip of him going. There's a clip of him that's going viral right now of him performing, and he's getting killed.
really.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to send it to you. Yeah.
So I honestly think it's gonna be disappointing. It's gonna be real one-sided, um,
Mm.
which may lead to extracurricular activities
Yeah.
once, once dudes' egos starts to get hurt, and which, to what I was saying earlier, P's, I don't know the man, but it seems like his mentality has actually changed. It
Yeah.
seems like he's on something else. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like I think this is more so like giving back to the
Mhm.
fans and not really. So I don't think he's really about that. Whereas I say that the baby's kind of past that, and like, maybe you won't do, but I don't, I said that earlier, but I don't know, man.
He'll still do what he needs to do if he needs to do it.
I think he might. I think I just hope no violence goes down, man.
Yeah.
That'd be an unfortunate night if that's
Yeah.
how it turns out.
It's too much. I think it's too much at risk. Like BG you can't afford for BG to violate his parole.
True. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? First off, like you like even fighting now, like I can't see myself fighting at this stage of my life.
Yeah.
Like
But that's the
my
thing
just
though,
my
bro.
knees
They
and my
don't,
back
that's the thing
hurt.
though. Like they don't use, they don't fight.
Oh, yeah, it ain't I don't think it'll get that far that because that'll have to like happen real fast. Like, remember when Bone Thugs and 3 6 like that was building up, and the worst that it got was Busy through the mic, and
Yeah.
they shut it down. I don't think it'll get that crazy that fast. They had to have had a series of conversations and at least be at a point where, let's be amicable so we can get this check. I
Yeah.
guess
You see
I
how
can
they
see
did Turk though.
they did Turk dirty. They did him dirty,
Oh, they did Turk dirty,
but it
man.
it kind of don't matter because Wayne's gonna be there, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. 1000%.
Yeah, Wayne will be there. So you're
1000%.
you're at full strength. Like it's not missing Turk not being there is not like mystical not being there.
Say that again.
Turk not being there isn't the equivalent to mystical not being there
Right.
or C
Yes.
Murder not
Right.
being there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Right.
they could
Right. Yeah.
afford to not have him
He has
there.
one verse.
Unfortunately.
He
Yeah.
has one
One
verse.
verse. You know what I'm
Just one
saying?
verse. Yeah.
Wait, which I Need a Hot Girl, what's the other one?
Yeah.
He got
That's
another
it.
Yeah, that's it. Wow.
That's it. Somebody else could do that and people wouldn't even. It wouldn't even
Proud
trip.
to it.
So
Scalp you like a scalper. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up here. I'm not running through all 9 of these questions because I want you to have the rest of your night.
yeah, yeah.
But I do want to ask you a couple of these Patreon questions.
Okay.
Um, so I had somebody ask about if